Hi everyone, and welcome to episode number 150 of the Karen Knits podcast. My name is Karen, and I'm coming to you from South Central Pennsylvania, where I live, where I work, where I knit, and get into all kinds of other crafting shenanigans. I'm so happy to have you here with me today, and I have a hair coming across my line of vision. Anyway, we're off to a good start today, guys. Anyway, it is Saturday, February 25th, 2023, and it's an overcast, kind of dreary looking day out there. Yeah, it's not the nicest looking day out, but at least it's not raining or anything like that. It's not overly warm, but it's not bad. But I'm staying indoors, so I don't care. So I'm staying indoors with my knitting. That's all good. So I have all kinds of goodies to show you this week. I have a finished object. I have another object that was a finished object, but now it's 100% finished. I've made some progress on, decent progress on one of my whips, and some fairly major progress on a second whip. So 4 things to show you today. Okay, editing Karen in here for a quick little bit. Thank you so much everyone for all the birthday wishes last week. I had a really nice day. We went out for dinner with a bunch of people from church, and they actually bought me an ice cream cake, Dairy Queen ice cream cake, and it was so nice. It was a really nice day, and I really thank you all for all your happy birthday wishes last week. Okay, back to your regular scheduled podcast. So my finished object, my February socks, are done. And I am so happy with them. I am so enjoying making these nice, mindless vanilla socks. And when you see the other socks that I'm working on in a little bit, you will understand this sentiment even more. But these are my February socks. And they are made using bear yarn for the toes, heels, and a teeny bit on the cuff. And they're also using 50-gram mini skeins that I got or have in a 12-day advent calendar that I bought from Orlando Fiber Arts this past December. And what I decided to do with that is each of the 12 days, that's only 5, but each of the 12 days in the advent calendar, I'm going to open one each month of 2023 and make a pair of socks with that month. So January's done, February's done. I will probably, before the first rolls around, I will probably cast on and do the toes for the March socks, but I will not be opening up the March yarn until March the 1st. So basically I'm using just a generic toe-up recipe. I do the toes, I'm doing them 2 at a time on Magic Loop. So I do roughly 20 rounds or so to get the increases to the right number. I think it was 55 rounds in plain stockingette. Then I do the gusset increases, then heel turn, heel flap, just the slip stitch, and then up the leg I do, I think I had 25 rounds, 20 or 25 rounds, and then I do a 2x2 ribbing until I'm 100% out of the yarn. And I've used the entire 50-gram skein of yarn. And then I just do a handful of rounds in the bare yarn just to finish it off. So my February socks are done. And I love them. I'm so excited to see what March's color looks like. I haven't opened it up yet. The box is still sitting down here, sitting beside me waiting. So I will open that up on Wednesday morning and see what my March socks are going to look like. So I'm excited for that. So first finished object for this week I'm just going to pop these here. My second, not quite, I wouldn't quite call it a finished object, but I showed it to you last week as a finished object, and I think it was last week before, recently. This is my Anthology throw by Helen Stewart. Now I've gone and I finally blocked it. Not finally, I got it done this week. I think I had planned on having a block to show you for last week, and I didn't get around to it. But it's done. And I love it. So this pattern, this first part, the first 4 rounds, remind me of just like those fruit slice candies, like those little chewy candies, the fruit slices. It's just, it gives me a look, it gives me a feel for that. So this is the Anthology throw. It's a pattern by Helen Stewart of The Curious Handmaid, and it was one of the patterns in her KnitVent 2022 ebook. I used a 24-day advent calendar for this, and that was an advent calendar, another one by Orlando Fiber Arts, and I was able to get the majority of the shawl done using the shawl wrap, whatever you want to call it, using each of the days from the advent calendar. When I got towards the end and doing this little border on it, this blue, the red takes us to the end of the advent calendar. The blue is part of the full skein of yarn that came as the full skein on day 25 for Christmas Day. And I did a certain number of rounds in that, and then I went and switched to a bare yarn just to finish off the last few rounds and the bind off. And I love it. I did not block it aggressively. A, because I didn't have blocking mats large enough or an area large enough to really block it out. But I just spread out all the blocking mats I did have on the dining room table, soaked it, and then I just laid it out, and I kind of took each of the points and just kind of pulled them out a little bit and just let it sit without any pins and let it dry that way. So it's done. The blocking is complete and I love it. I absolutely love this. I'm so happy with it. And it was a joy to knit. I thoroughly enjoyed working on that project. And now my shirt's all wonky. Anyway, so those are my 2 finished objects. I also have 2 works in progress to show you. The first one is my Rachel top. This is a pattern by Veronica Job, and I got a goodly amount of progress done on this week. It's still slowly coming along. It's getting longer, but it still has a ways to go. Since I saw you last week, I've added from this marker upwards. So I've added another between 1 inch to 2 inches. So it's coming along nicely. I still have quite a ways to go yet. I'm hoping that it'll be ready to wear once spring and summer rolls around here for 2023, not 24. So I am hoping I'm able to wear this summer. And it is going to be my focus project. Aside from working on my Sock Madness socks and my monthly vanilla Advent, 12-day of Advent socks, the only other thing I plan on working on in the next while is my Rachel top. So I plan on having only 2 or 3 whips on the go at any given time. So cross your fingers that I can get Rachel done sooner rather than later. And I do have the full month to finish my March socks as well coming up. So I'm not in a huge rush to do that because That one knits up fairly quickly. Nice, mindless, away I go, just knitting and stocking at circles. So, my fourth thing I want to show you today are my Sock Madness 17 qualifying round socks. And I will be 100% honest with you and fess up, these are a struggle for me. I'm hoping I get them done in time. The deadline for the qualifying round of socks is on Thursday at just before noon Eastern time in the US on Thursday. So I have less than a week to finish them. I would say almost a little over 50% done. So I am going to have to really buckle down, work on them the rest of today. Any spare time I have on Sunday, which typically is not a lot of spare time on a Sunday. We're quite busy with church stuff and things on Sundays. So I am hoping I get done on time, but I am struggling with this pair of socks. I'm finding that they seem to be very involved for a qualifying round sock. They're going to be gorgeous when they're done. They're beautiful socks, but I have said a few unpleasant things to them while I've been working on them. If I'm honest with you, I have had some not pleasant things, unladylike things to say to them while I've been knitting on them. So anyways, these are the Sock Madness 17 qualifying round socks. They're called Light. I'm probably not pronouncing that anywhere close to correctly. I don't speak German. I am unfamiliar with a lot of the pronunciation. And it's a pattern by Annette Schleicher. Again, I'm probably pronouncing that horribly, but here is where I am right now. I've just got the one sock, the ball of yarn is stuffed inside there just to keep it a little bit under control. So for the one sock, all the balloons are done. Zero ends are woven in. That is going to be a nightmare, weaving in all the ends on this. But here's where it is right now. They'll look a lot better once they're on sock blockers. But this is where we are. One sock, I'm ready now. On this sock, I'm ready to do the little part of the top of the girl that's holding the balloons and flying up into the sky. Mine, the sky is gray because when I cast these on, and still today, it's a gray overcast day. So I didn't have a light blue color to use. So first sock, I'm ready to do, I think there's only 8 rounds, 6 rounds that we do with the girl, and just basically it's just her hand, the first part of her hand, and then you do the heel turn. On the second sock, the heel turn is done, and I'm starting to do more on the girl. So here we can see the balloons on the one side and on the other side, and here we can sort of see the beginning of the girl. I hope you can see that. Let me get my face out of the way. Not sure if that's showing up very well yet. So they're coming along. The gusset decreasing is done. There's a little under the heel, there's a small gusset, and that is finished. It looks wonky, but it's there. I know it looks okay. Sorry. But here's where I'm at with the other sock. And this is what the inside looks like right now. I think approximately 5,436 tails to tuck in. Yarn management was definitely a thing with this sock. And I'm finding for me, it's very slow. It's using intarsia in the round, which is a technique I don't think I've ever done intarsia in the round before. I don't think so. So it's a technique I've learned. It's a little bit of a nice variation on the heel. It's a German short row heel, but it's got a little gusset added into it. So it's a neat heel. I'll decide exactly how neat I think it is once I put it on my foot later on, but I haven't got that far. And now I'm at the point where I have, on this one, I think I'm on almost round 70 on the chart coming down onto the girl. And I have to go up to row 98, I think. And then after the girl is done, it's just plain stockinette. I am so excited for the plain stockinette part. I never thought I would hear myself say I'm so excited to knit plain stockinette on a pair of socks. I am excited for the plain stockinette. Once I get to the end of the toe, towards the end of the toe. But the girl's going to continue down the front of the ankle and then onto the top of the foot. And then it switches to plain stockinette, and then you switch colors and do the toe in the same color as the girl is. So it's coming along. But as I said, I have been struggling with these. I'm finding it incredibly slow, and I've spent almost as much time, it feels like I've spent almost as much time untangling my yarn and organizing my yarn as I have spent knitting. That's what it feels like. They're going to be so adorable when they're done, and I cannot wait until they're done. There's a lot of people that are already finished them, and I'm like, wow, more power to you, because I'm nowhere close. I am hoping to get the girl done on the first sock today. It's only 2:30 in the afternoon here now, so when I'm finished editing, I will be able to just power through and keep wrestling with my yarn octopus and finish the girl. At least with the girl, there's only 2 colors involved. Although in a few sections you're using 2 of the blue and 2 of the gray at the same time. So you're going to have all these little extra tails and yarn fiddling. Yeah, yarn fiddling, a lot of yarn fiddling. But I'm hoping to get the girl done today. Like I say, I have roughly 30 rounds to do, which doesn't sound like it should be lots, but 30 rounds might take me 2 days to do. I hope not. But we'll see how far I get with that today. I really am hoping. Oh, excuse me. I really am hoping to get the girl done today. I so hope so. I just so want to have these done. So that is my knitting for this week. Like I say, got my Anthology throw blocked. Finished my February socks before I got ready, before I started casting on Sock Madness 17. Or in between. I've got a decent amount of progress on my Rachel top, and I've got a lot of progress. When I saw you last week, I think I had 1 cuff done and 1 cuff partly done. I think that's where I was when I saw you last week. I didn't leave stitch markers in there to mark where I left off last week. I forgot to leave the markers in or change the markers to show you where I was. So that's been my progress. It's been a busy week. I've had a lot of grading to get done for school things, a lot of other things just going on as well, plus trying to get as much of my socks knit as possible so I can qualify for Sock Madness. I will admit I will be very disappointed with myself if I don't qualify. I think I should be able to. I think I'll be able to put in Monday and Tuesday for sure. I can put in marathon days and just ignore everything else and knit as much as I can, with as long as I'm making sure I take adequate breaks to rest my hands. But no, I forgot. I had to yawn and I forgot what I was saying. Anyway, on that note, I should get going. I really should get the editing done on this and get going and keep knitting my little girl and see if I can get her done today. Cross your fingers that I get her done today, because if that's the case, then I should be able to finish the second sock girl on Monday and Tuesday, and then I just have the rest of the foot and the toes to do after that, and that part won't take long. That I can probably whip through that pretty quickly, especially after all the wrestling. All the tails can just be stuffed inside the sock for now, for having the pictures done, and then after that, after they've qualified, I will sit down and I will weave in all the ends. I honestly don't mind. It is a little bit daunting with these socks because there's so many, but I honestly don't mind weaving in ends. I find it almost meditative, where I can just put on a video or watch something on YouTube or listen to an audiobook and just keep on knitting or keep on stitching in the tails. So I will be getting onto that. That will be a project for after I've submitted my pictures and qualified. It might not get done until quite a bit later, but it will get done. But otherwise, this week coming up, I have lots of knitting I want to get done on those socks. I hope to have those finished to show you, and more progress on Rachel, and I hope to have my March socks cast on so I can show you those next week. We might have round 1 started for Sock Madness, but if we finish the qualifying round Thursday lunchtime, it's probably not as likely that the first round, that they'll have the team set and organized, all the emails worked out. It's probably not likely that we will have round 1 going before Saturday. But who knows? It is madness, so who knows? So on that note, I will let you go, and I will see you guys again in a week. Bye now.